was chasing some goals, thinking if I achieve them, I'm going to finally be able to relax and feel good about myself. But I realized I was just actually reinforcing the wrong behaviors. I thought that was the way to push myself to make things happen, using a lot of self-hate, a lot of punishing myself and beating myself up to actually achieve things and finish things, get things done. But I realized I was just conditioning my present moment to be a hell on this planet. So that was I was making myself go through suffering just to achieve outcomes. And when I did achieve those outcomes, I couldn't actually feel anything. I was just doing it for the sake of doing it. I was not really like enjoying it. I was not feeling great about what I was doing. I was just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna do this one, and then hopefully I feel better. But every time I realized every time I achieved another goal, I was actually even feeling worse, because when we have this illusion of goal achieving, when we achieve certain things, finally we feel fulfilled, we finally feel happy, we finally feel like we are someone. It's a fucking illusion of our mind, because every time nothing changed. I was still the same guy that started. Nothing really changed. And when I got to that conclusion, it really hit me hard, because I really started questioning the way I was doing things, the way I was thinking. I realized if I can't enjoy now what I'm doing now, I will never be able to enjoy anything that I achieve. Even if I get all the girls in this world, all the money in this world, I'll still be the same Diogo. The same Diogo that was back in this room playing some video games. The same guy. The biggest lesson is don't chase go after your dreams for sure. Go do things. Go try to achieve things in this world. Contribute to the world. Contribute to yourself, but never place your self-worth and your value as a human in those goals. Because when you do, you still live in a prison, and we want to be free. So if you want to be free, you can't put yourself attached to some goals. So if you don't achieve them, you feel bad. If you do achieve them, it's the only way you require yourself to feel good. And I realized, like, actually we only always place these requirements in goals, and that's the only time we can actually feel good, because that's when we give ourselves permission, because we achieved something. Now I can give myself permission to feel good because I did something well. But I realized you can give yourself permission anytime to feel good. You don't need to do anything to feel good. You can. It's really like that simple. But we're always thinking, okay, why should I feel good right now? Like, I didn't do anything right now. So what's the reason why I should feel good? I think, why not? Why you should fucking suffer all the way through, and then condition yourself to suffering all the way, and then getting the thing that you thought would give you that belief and peace and stillness in your stillness. But you get there, and then you actually got there, conditioning yourself to feel shitty. So what do you think? How are you gonna feel when you get there? You're gonna feel shitty as well. Nothing will change. So it's fucking crazy to think about that, because a lot of people think there's like this quote that I was listening the other day, saying I prefer to cry in a Ferrari than cry in a fucking Fiat. And I was like, dude, that fucking makes zero sense. Like, why would people being depressed or being fucking sad, it doesn't really matter where you at, what you have. Like, you don't want to be in that place, and especially don't want to go years and years conditioning yourself to be in that place, because the longer you go doing that to yourself and creating that suffering to yourself without being necessary, the harder it will be when you finally come to that realization. It's like, nothing changed. I achieved it, but nothing really changed. I'm still fucking feel shitty inside. So when you come to that realization later on, after years of conditioning yourself, you're gonna be in a really bad position, because now you have years and years of like conditioning, and now you have to revert all of that, and it will take much more time, and you will suffer much more than you actually need to. And that was like for me was real conclusion, because I always identify myself with some victimhood, someone that goes to struggle and suffers, and that was my the way I identify myself, because I live my life really to those lenses of suffering. So I always have to somehow create that self-suffering within myself without being needed. So for you is, if you right now, if you don't feel like you're good enough, you don't feel like you didn't achieve things, the best advice for you, if you didn't achieve nothing yet, is go achieve things, even if you feel like you're gonna use the self-hate to achieve them. But at least go, self-hate yourself and do it. Because sometimes I feel like when I started out, that was really necessary, that misery was necessary for me to push myself and go do things and prove myself and my self-worth to myself. But later on, when you do achieve them and you realize nothing really changed, now you have to go look deep down into yourself and find out all the subconscious triggers, all the things that are in your subconscious mind, all the conditionings, all the things that your parents told you or made you believe when you were a child that were truth, and they're still part of your identity. So look down into those things and ask yourself questions about those things, and try to re-experience those past experiences and feel all those emotions attached, and all that resistance that will be attached to those emotions from your past, and just completely go into your body and let go of all of it, because that's the real cause of your suffering. The only thing I realized was I was running away from myself, trying to numb myself to do things to numb myself. That's pretty much everyone in this world. Most people are doing is they either using taking action in like business or women, or using drugs, or any type of addiction, or any kind of addiction, game or video games, any sort of addiction, to just numb themselves to their pain, their traumas, their demons. They're running away from them, trying to look in the external world for something better. They're trying to avoid the shit that is inside, to try to look for something better in the external world. But the reality is, as long as you keep running away, you still keep haunting you. As long as you don't face what is inside of you and actually let go of it, you will still be run by it, and you will live a full life of compulsion and being compulsive at everything you do. You don't do it from a healthy place, you always do it from a compulsive, addictive place. And as long as you're gonna do that, doesn't matter how much you will achieve, you'll always be in a shitty place. And that's the reason why I wanted to make this video. So some guys out there that are really obsessed with achieving and making things happen, and they just use their fucking misery to do it, and just kick themselves in the butt, and then counter the self-sabotage, because there's a part of them that doesn't really thinks they deserve it, so they're still fighting that part of them. They're pushing themselves, beating themselves. So for those guys there, slow down, take a deep breath, relax into your body, and feel what's there. Just sit down, close your eyes. Just be with yourself. Fuck, we can't be with ourselves. Actually, we can't be with ourselves. Think about it. Like every time you get home, you can't be with yourself. You just turn on the TV, just go to your phone. You can't be with yourself for like even fucking 10 minutes. Because even if you take a shit, you find a ways to bring your phone there. So you always find ways to run away from yourself. So just fucking stop running away. Stop being compulsive. Just face it. It's scary, I know. It's fucking scary. But it's the way to the freedom. Just face it and don't be fucking compulsive. And yeah, that's my message to you guys. And Happy New Year's. Diogo, out.